Tired of forgetting everything you learn? Here's 11 memory techniques you can use. 1. Acronyms and acrostics. You may already be familiar with acronyms and acrostics as a mnemonic device. This method requires you to create a new word or group of words by taking the first letter of each word and putting them together. For example, to remember the names of the planets in our solar system, you might use this acrostic mnemonic. My very educated mother just served you undercooked noodles. In this example, the first letter of each word corresponds with the first letter of each planet, respectively. 2. Music mnemonics. Why can you remember every single lyric in your favorite songs, but can't remember what you needed to pick up from the grocery store after work? Because it's easier to remember a catchy song than it is to remember a long string of meaningless words or letters, such as a grocery list yelled to you by your wife while you're halfway out the door at 8 a.m. The next time you need to remember something, try pairing that information with a tune you're already familiar with. 3. Rhyming mnemonics. Similar to music mnemonics, rhyming mnemonics take advantage of catchy beats and patterns created by ending each line with a rhyme to help you retain information. Here's a common rhyming mnemonic used to help avoid spelling errors. I before E, except after C. 4. Chunking. Have you ever repeated a phone number out loud by grouping numbers together? For example, 6, 4, 7, 555, 11, 21 instead of 6, 4, 7, 5, 5, 5, 1, 1, 2, 1. This is chunking. It's another mnemonic device that involves grouping individual pieces of information, like long strings of numbers, into larger, more memorable groups. And chunking isn't just limited to aiding the memorization of numbers. Another practical application of chunking would be grouping items on your grocery list by aisle. Or if you're learning a new language, grouping new vocabulary words together by category. 5. Create a memory palace. The memory palace technique, also known as the method of Lotzi, is another popular mnemonic device. This technique involves mentally mapping out a physical space you're familiar with, a memory palace, and placing images representing the information you're memorizing in various spots or loci. Loci is the plural form of locus, which means place or location. When you need to recall that information, simply visualize your memory palace and retrieve it. Here's how to create and use your own memory palace. Choose your memory palace. Select a space that you're incredibly familiar with, for example, your childhood home or the route you take to work, and create a mental map of it. Identify distinct loci throughout your palace. Mentally walk through your palace and pick different locations where you can place unique images. For example, the door to your coat closet, the lamp in your living room, and the dog bed in your guest room. Assign images to specific locations. Let's say you're trying to remember this grocery list: milk, chocolate chip cookies, and bananas. Place images of each of those items at your chosen locations. Or, to make it more memorable, create vivid images representing each item and place those at different locations. The more animated and outrageous, the better. For example, you could picture a waterfall of milk pouring over your closet door, your living room lamp teetering on top of a mountain of chocolate chip cookies, and a dog juggling bananas while standing on its bed. While this technique may sound absurd, it does work. Just take it from 5-time USA memory champion Nelson Dellis, who uses the memory palace technique to help him quickly remember a full deck of cards in sequence. 6. Write it down. While typing your notes might be faster and more convenient, especially if you have to take in a lot of information, there are advantages to doing things the old-fashioned way and taking pen to paper. In a 2014 study, researchers Pam A. Mueller and Daniel M. Oppenheimer examined the effects on learning and retention when students took notes by hand versus on a laptop. In terms of generative note-taking, for example, summarizing, paraphrasing, and concept mapping, students who took notes by hand had better retention and understanding of the material compared to those who took notes on a laptop. Why? The researchers suggest 2 possible reasons. First, there are fewer possible distractions, such as checking emails or social media when writing notes. Second, generative note-taking encourages students to reframe the information into their own words, which aids in encoding. 7. Use spaced repetition. Spaced repetition is a memorization technique that involves reviewing the same information at increasing intervals until that information is embedded into your long-term memory. If you've ever tried to learn a new language using apps like Duolingo or Rosetta Stone, you've used spaced repetition. Here's a simple way to apply this technique. Let's say you're learning another language and you need help remembering new vocabulary. Write the word in your native tongue on a flashcard, or to make it more fun, sketch an image of the word. Then review the flashcards daily. As you become more consistent recalling your new vocabulary words, you can increase the time between reviews from daily to weekly to monthly. If you need to create a lot of flashcards, you can also use apps like Quizlet to do the heavy lifting for you. 8. Make visual connections. The use of visual stimuli is a common method used to learn and recall information. Here are some strategies you can use to enhance your visual memory. Turn the sound of names into images. If you have difficulty remembering people's names, try connecting their names with an image. For example, if a stranger introduces himself as Mike, you might picture him holding a microphone. Animate the images. Similar to creating visuals for your memory palace, the more animated and vivid you can make your images, the better. Doing this creates stronger connections in your brain between the word and the image. 9. Share what you're learning. Let's say you're going to a sales training seminar. Your best friend has just started their first sales job, and they want you to share some of your key takeaways after. So you furiously scribble down notes, ask questions, and scribble some more. This goes to the heart of the protégé effect, which suggests that people put in more effort to learn information when they know they're going to teach it to someone else. Then, when you share your key takeaways, you're likely to explain the concepts you learned in your own words. You'll probably even demonstrate a few of these lessons while explaining the concepts, which will make it more meaningful. And these acts, paraphrasing and adding meaning to information, all help with encoding. 10. Get more sleep. As a shock to no one, there's a direct relationship between sleep and productivity, and that productivity extends to our ability to take in new information. As much as possible, try to get your recommended 6 to 8 hours of deep sleep, the knocked-out cold kind, every night. This will help reset your brain, allowing you to wake up feeling refreshed and ready to take on the world, or at least more information. 11. Move your body. Just as sleep is important for both your physical and mental health, so too is that other pillar of health: exercise. Moving your body regularly at moderate intensity, whatever that looks like to you, can directly and indirectly boost your memory. Indirectly, it can reduce anxiety and stress, and improve the quality of your sleep. Oftentimes, problems in these areas contribute to cognitive impairment. Directly, it improves the flow of oxygen-rich blood to your brain. This blood flow keeps your brain functioning properly, which includes processing and storing information. In order to become the superior version of yourself, you must learn to develop discipline, which is exactly why we have put together our very own free-to-download, Driven by Discipline guide. If you are fed up of your bad habits ruining your life, and you struggle to develop discipline that sticks around, then this guide is for you. The best part is that it is completely free to enroll. You can download the guide via the link in our bio.